Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Ted and Ed TV show, The Money Connection. We have a great show for you today. A lot of good information, a lot of discussion. And the one thing that is so much stuff, Ed. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing okay. This is a Wednesday evening here that we're on now because Saturday is not good enough for us to do one telecast a week. So with all this stuff going here, man,
It is so much.
It is crazy out here.
Crazy.
Crazy stuff going on.
Well, we're going to start off with the light stuff first, though, man. And you really are into this, as far as these politics. Man, what is the Democrats? Where are they headed? Because are they left? Are they center, or are they right? I don't understand where these people are going, because you just had an election in New York. The person that won was a 28-year-old Latina lady who won a big race from a longtime congressman who was in line to take Pelosi's place. And her whole conversation was the agenda of Bernie Sanders. She's a socialist. Can you tell me where is this party headed?
Ted, the Democratic Party is not like the Republican Party. Republican Party, they only got like 2 or 3 issues that they deal with, and that's it. They don't bring in any diverse people. You look at the Republican Party, all white. Yep. But you look at the there's very few LGBTs and stuff in there with them, hardly any gays at all with them. There's hardly any people of color and stuff there within their party. Nobody is, of any color is up in the leadership roles at all. It's all white. The grand old party is the grand old white folks, and that's it. But when you look at the Democrats, you got LGBT people, you got people who believe in being progressive, you got people who believe in being a little bit moderate and not going too far to the right and too far to the left, and then you have some conservative Democrats and stuff and everything out there. So you got a whole conglomeration of people. So you have to realize that depending on what region you in is what they're going to be doing, because you don't see a lot of progressive winning a lot of races and stuff here in the South or in the Southwest or whatever. But up north, you see them, like in New York, for instance, they just had their primary election going on there. Well, they had 4 congressional candidates and stuff who were fighting for their absolute life to stay in there. And it just so happened that the environment and the dynamics in this congressman who lost his job, the one you just talked about, Joseph Crowley, he is in a district and stuff and everything that over the years that he has been in office have changed. The people, these Italian folks or these Irish people and everything, and where he dominated and stuff at, they've changed over now, and it's become more predominantly Hispanics or people of color in his district. So her being Hispanic, and they are over 50% Hispanics and stuff in that area there, and most of his actual voters and stuff have left, he lost his job.
He's gone.
And
he's done.
As you can see, I thought he was going to be very, very upset and everything. But as soon as he, matter of fact, last night, after they had called election for her, he went ahead and conceded and said, "Oh, great, she's going to do anything." But you know what he's getting ready to do, don't you? He's getting ready to move out of that district. Where his people are at.
You get ready to move out of that district, go somewhere else and run for senator or something. Huh?
I bet you before the November election, he gonna be gone. He gonna get the heck out of there. he can't do anything. But there was 3 other elections and stuff going on down there who were incumbents and stuff, Ted. They fought for their lives, their absolute life, man, to stay there, because most people and stuff in Canada now, Ted, they're upset with the Democrats.
Yeah,
just like
and rightfully so. And rightfully so.
They're not fighting hard enough for their constituents. And the reason why they aren't fighting, man, because the money folks, man, got a grip on Congress. You know, it's a swamp, just like Trump said before he got there. It's a swamp there. It is. It's a swamp. And the people with the money control the swamp. All the alligators and stuff are lobbyists, and they're eating people up.
Eating people alive, man. I mean, it's crazy because sometimes I wonder if are they woke? You know, I mean, Maxine Waters, God bless her soul, she over what, 80 years old now, and she's out there just fighting and trying to stir up something. We try to get these people motivated or engaged, you know. And I know, she doesn't want to do this. I know what she's doing. She doesn't want to do it, but nobody else wants to speak up, you know. And she says something against 45, and then Pelosi and Schumer tried to reprimand her regarding what she said on the stump. And the thing is that they do not want to fight 45. They just letting things just slide through. And they say, we're going to try to do bipartisan and that kind of thing. Forget that bipartisan crap. Forget the bipartisan crap, man. They need to do what's right. And you fight for right. Now, if they don't do what's right, then you don't vote. You know, because a lot of things that they're doing and they're allowing these things to happen, you know, and it's hurting the people, you know, a lot of people, you know, and nobody's fighting for these poor people, man. Nobody's fighting for these working class people. And a lot of people has been snookered by 45, you know, and it's slowly showing that they are being snookered. You know, look what happened to Harley Davidson. You know, the reason why they went over there, you know, because of tariffs. It was going to cost them almost $2,500 or more, almost $3,000, you know, to sell their stuff over there. So I don't know, man. You know, people don't realize the same thing when it came to the machine company that was making those machines. They took their stuff and went on over to Mexico. You know, so it wasn't Westinghouse. I'm trying to think of the name, but I can't think of the name right now. But them people are out of jobs, and on and on and on, and it's happening. Steel companies are going out of jobs because of the tariffs and the cost. They're going to cheaper steel and not selling to or buying from the Americans. There's a nail company, just make nails. They laying off people. So
well, you get back to your first question that you brought up about Nancy Pelosi and Schumer stopping, you know, the congresswoman and stuff from opening her mouth and saying anything. Well, in their minds and stuff, they're thinking that if they keep their mouth shut and everything and just hold on as long as they can, that by the time they get to 2018 election and stuff and everything, and they won't wake up that sleeping giant and stuff of people out there who are Republican voters or conservative voters and stuff that they are afraid of. And you're right, they are afraid and stuff at that point. And that is exactly why the young lady and stuff there in New York won against Crowley. They looked at him as an established person and stuff and everything, and he never had a message that he can come out with. Well, even though her message was socialist, she had a message. Matter of fact, she did a TV commercial and stuff, and she did an ad, a visual ad and everything, and got on there and started talking about single payees and all that other stuff. Where this Crowley guy, he didn't do nothing else. He didn't come out there and say anything. He thought that he can be able to keep on going, stay a Democrat, and as long as he was a Democrat, and the DCCC was going to back him up because he was going to be next in line for a committee chairmanship, that he can be able to slide on through and everything. But it didn't happen that way because the young lady got out there and she just did what you were saying. She didn't act like she was scared. She acted just like the lady, the congressman in California and stuff did. She opened her mouth up and saying what she had to say, and those voters and stuff believed her. But the fear and stuff that you see in the Democratic Party and stuff, because of the people and stuff there, everybody looks at Nancy Pelosi and stuff as a Hillary Clinton. She's almost, as far as out there talking, the conservative and stuff uses Nancy Pelosi as a evil thing. And you tie a Democrat to Nancy Pelosi, they're going to lose, and that's what they've been thinking about. But like you said, Ted, you have to get up and open your mouth up and say something. Yeah. If you don't open your mouth up, people aren't going to know where you're coming from.
That's right.
And scared and stuff is not going to do it, because we're sitting there saying, well, okay, we're going to keep quiet and hope everything goes out, and then we're going to get out there and vote and stuff for in 2018, the midterm, and going to vote people all out there. And
how did that work out? How did that work in 2016, Ed?
That's the problem.
How did that work?
That's the problem. It did not work. But you can't tell these Democrats and stuff this. Just like you and I look at my email, half my email, well, almost 2/3 of my email that I get is these people out there who in politics begging for money.
For money.
We need $3, we need $4, we need $10, because we got to keep money in our pockets so we can beat these people down.
So they can buy these gigantic and give all these advertising dollars to these TV and radio stations.
Absolutely.
And they don't go around and pay somebody to knock on doors. And whatever your mission is, or whatever your vision is for this country, you need to be having it. And right now, they don't even have a vision. They don't have a mission. They don't have anything. All they're talking about is Donald Trump. That's it.
Yeah, and you're right. You can't win and stuff by just trying to beat up on Trump. You can't win. You have to have a message out there, and you can't get those people out there, the Democrats and stuff out there, to believe that money is not going to win you an election.
Yeah,
it might put money in your pocket after you get there, but it's not going to win an election.
It's not going to win you an election.
Because those Republicans got all the money that they want. They got to do.
I mean, man, they got money pouring all over them. They call their bank accounts are so fat.
Yeah, they call their friends up, and they got $20-30 million and stuff sitting there in the coffers.
Call them billionaires up. I need 25 million.
Absolutely. So
I need,
you win in each congressional district, in each local district, and we're not seeing Perez and all the other people and stuff who are in charge, and they got this Ben Laguna and stuff from Colorado and stuff. He's supposed to be in charge of the DCCC and everything, and trying to get Democrats and stuff back into power there in the House and everything. And then they gave the senatorial DSC or whatever it is, the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee and stuff, to this knucklehead who beat out this black lady there in Maryland. And he, what's that band's name? Chris something. And he's supposed to be in charge of them and everything, but you don't see them out there fighting hard for their people, opening their mouths up and stuff and saying some things and stuff that they need to say to get themselves elected, to inspire people to come out and vote.
To inspire people to vote because they got something to say. And, it's two things right now that I can think of And this might, and it's not like we don't have the money. There's free education. I mean, up to college and trade school, and also healthcare. And I don't mean you have to be free. And you can pay something in, Medicaid, Medicare for all. That's what I believe. Medicare for all. For those people that want it. And the point is that those are the two biggest expenses. What is it costing these young people nowadays to get an education? 30, 40, 50 and up, $1,000. This stuff is costing them a whole lot of money. Every year it's costing them money. Some of these people are paying $25,000, $35,000, $40,000 a year for education. And all they're doing is making loans. And unless their parents can pay for it, there ain't too many parents out there that can pay no $200,000 for a quality education. Same thing when it comes to healthcare. Somebody gets sick in the family, wipe you out. So, those are two things can really, really that they should be talking about. Another thing is quality jobs. That's another thing that they should be talking about. Quality jobs. So, I don't know. I mean, the jobs are here, but a lot of them are not paying that much. They're paying minimum wage or $10 an hour, $12 an hour. And so many people out there are fighting for at least $15 an hour. And really, that's not even enough nowadays. Because oil prices are constantly going up. I just read an article the other day. Iran has cut back on their oil because of all the sanctions. That's why the oil prices are going up.
Well, Iran really actually and stuff, Ted, can do whatever they want to do and stuff because they're not a part of the OPEC nations and stuff. Saudi Arabia and all the other OPEC nation countries and stuff and everything, they've already cut back on their production, and they did what they wanted to do was send the price of oil up high enough so they can be able to live and stuff off of they pumping the oil out. Whereas before, when you were buying a barrel of oil for $30 a barrel, they wasn't making any money. They were, breaking even, I guess you might say, almost, and they wouldn't be able to do it. So
they weren't under sanctions.
They weren't, but Iran and stuff and everything, they're that black sheep out there, and they want to control OPEC, even though Iran is on it. Really, actually, Ted, since Trump stopped going along with the allies and stuff and the sanctions and stuff against the nuclear sanctions against Iran been sitting around there and they've been enjoying it. They are absolutely laughing and stuff at him because now all those countries and stuff who have sanctions against Iran, it is because the United States pulled out of that agreement and everything and stuff. There is a hodgepodge of sanctions and stuff going on against them. So while they're not together and stuff and everything, Iran is using that and everything to become more powerful and stuff out there because they are selling oil and stuff now because the OPEC nations and stuff they have to increase their production and everything once the price went up there. Iran is still selling oil out there and still money. And they are sitting around there quietly. They're not raising a fuss. They're quietly and stuff sitting out there and improving what's going on inside their country. Same thing going on with North Korea. You look at North Korea and stuff, and Trump went over there and negotiated all that stuff. He's a big negotiator and stuff and said, yeah, we got him all right. But nobody, when he came back and stuff last week and stuff and said, yep, North Korea is still a rogue nation. They're still one of the axes of evil. Nobody said anything about it.
Nope.
But North Korea is laughing at them and everything, and South Korea is too and everything because they made a fool out of our president.
Well, he's saying he won.
Yeah.
He
So
said he won though, Ed. He said he won, man.
But
He
if you
did
go
something
back,
no other president ever did before.
last week, Ted, he come out and said that they still the axis of evil. Nobody said anything about it when he said that. They are still the axis of evil. And he have in essence broke all the relationships that we've had and stuff out there. South Korea and stuff is upset with him. Japan is upset with him. Russia is laughing at him. China is sitting there, got a grip around his throat and everything because they have North Korea and stuff right in their back pocket, and they using North Korea and everything to beat him up. And then Trump turned around here and not realizing that if you're gonna throw some stones and stuff at people, you better make sure your house is together. Look what's going on here in the United States, Ted. Our debt is running up so fast. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Who is buying up our treasury bonds?
Yes.
China is buying them up. All these other countries are buying bonds, and we are in debt up to our neck. And he's out there stones at these other folks out there and everything, and they're looking at him and stuff. Hey, buddy, we got you. We got control over you now because you
don't understand manufacturing, man.
Yeah, we own you. You know, we got a grip.
And he don't understand finance.
No, he has no idea about it. You know, when people voted for him and say, yeah, he's a great businessman. Well, damn, the man went bankrupt about 10 times. If you a great businessman,
when you got $25 trillion trading back and forth, over 25, United States trades over in Europe, all over the world, 25 trillion. And the other countries all over the world trade with us 25 trillion. So then you got all of these manufacturing companies that are international American companies that are overseas. And you get all of these other countries around the world that's here that's doing business with us. So now you got this mass negotiations and trades and trying to imbalance or whatever. He doesn't realize that a lot of these companies, they just put this, they collaborate with all these countries to put whatever equipment they're building to sell here in America and to ship back overseas again, because China is manufacturing a lot of these these goods, these products. So, you can sit up here and say trade war, but we don't make anything anymore. Very few things we make, and if we do make, we're collaborating with other countries.
We, as a country, Ted, and to the audience and the people out there who are listening to us, we have to get it into our heads that we're in the 21st century. We're not in the 20th century anymore. The 21st century has brought in a new era of a global economy. We are in a global economy, and you can't be out there fighting people and having trade wars with people and everything, and you in an economy that's global. Now, he did one thing and stuff and everything. He, in that tax cut thing that they enacted and stuff, which we're probably going to have to talk about too, because this tax cut didn't give us a dime. We got less than Bush gave us and stuff in 2012 or 2004 or whatever. And Bush gave us $600. We didn't even get $600. But getting back to what I was talking about and everything, in 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we were looking at how these companies and stuff, all of our companies and corporations were taking and moving their money outside the United States, moving them to Ireland and stuff, where they can take and they tax wasn't that high. They were moving their money into the Cayman Islands and all these other things, offshore. They had trillions of dollars, Ted, out there. Well,
out there.
When he enacted the tax cut and stuff, he allowed these companies and stuff to bring this money back into the United States so they can start building stuff inside this country. But then once he did it, he turned around and slapped them upside the head. You know, you can't tell people to bring their stuff in here. Okay, I'm your friend, and then turn around and stab them in the back. You hit the Harley Davidson people, just like he's doing the auto industry. He's slapping these people in the face. He's doing the steel industry this way, even though he's got a tariff in there. He's gonna create jobs in here. The steel gonna be okay. But hey, where they gonna sell their steel to? Because people, they got tariffs and stuff now because most of their steel is being going overseas to these other people.
That's right.
And then you turn around and slap them upside the head. So what's going on with this man here? And they're all looking at him in Canada and saying, man, he is crazy. So let's do the best thing we can and stuff and forget about him. Because you remember about 3 or 4 months ago, he jumped on Jeff Bezos, the head of Amazon. I'm gonna get you because I'm gonna make the post office raise your rates up and everything so you can't be able to sell your products out there. Well, he didn't let old Jeffy alone. This man, he's the richest man in the world. And you gonna sit down there and you gonna fight him. He got so many lawyers and people on his payroll. You don't hear no more about him, Jeff Bezos and Amazon no more. No. So now he's trying to slap Harley Davidson around.
Little bitty company.
Telling them, well, you can't, I'm going to stop you then. You can't move your stuff outside this country. Duh.
Well, let me just tell you, a company that's been outside.
They got a plant in Thailand right now. They've been at it over there.
But the thing about it, let me tell you, a company, an international company that's been, when I say international, has been overseas and here for decades, and that's GE. What in the world has happened to General Electric? This was an American icon, man, and it is in bad shape right now because their market share in the last just couple of decades have lost $240 billion. Their market cap right now today is $121 billion. That is ridiculous. And they're selling off all of their things because all of their little subsidiaries, because number one, just to let you know, here's some things. They are involved in aviation, healthcare, power, renewable energy, digital, manufacturing, venture capital and finance, lighting, transportation, and oil and gas. These people, man, I mean, they got their hands in almost everything, but now for some reason, it's just going down and going down. And this is my take on it, Ed. They have over 300,000 people working for them. Half of those people are overseas that's working. Half of those people are overseas working. So, and then the other half are Americans that's working over here. And the thing about it is that they have lost, they try to be creative and do all kinds of things that are innovative and what have you, but they can't find their place. And now they're blaming Jack Webb, who was the CEO before
Jack
Emmett.
Been gone.
He's been gone. They're trying to blame him.
He's been gone for what, 10 years, haven't he?
Probably longer than that.
Yeah. How they gonna blame Jack Webb for something?
That's what I'm.
He been gone for. I thought the man was dead.
because he put his hands in so much stuff. He branched off in so many things, man. There's so many things that they're involved in all over the world. It's just unbelievable. But the thing is, here's the hub though with GE. For many, many years, they have not been paying any taxes. Any taxes. They got so many lawyers. They got a whole department of lawyers how not to pay taxes. So they have not paid any taxes to this country, when it comes to paying their fair share of taxes. And that's the hub of it. And then they got so many different foreigners that are in charge of so many things. It might be a little bit sabotage involved in that. It's all kind of craziness is going on, that's involved. So they really lost a lot of money when it came to that. Their capital GE. They had a company that did their financing in 2008, and they lost billions of dollars action, loaning out money and what have you, because in 2008, that's when you had the big Great Depression. So it was really, something else, So I feel that's the one thing that they had going for them through the years is they used to pay high dividends. Mm-hmm. So if you had 2,000 shares, and their shares is always, most of all of these companies 25, 30 years ago, 15 years ago, their shares were $30. Now, a lot of these people is $100 now. A lot of these people, their shares is $100, $120, $130. Their shares has always been like 17, and now it's the lowest as ever. I didn't even check the date, but they was down as low as
$20 a day. $20 a day.
$3.
$20 a day. I just looked at it. $20 is selling today.
Yeah. So they their shares have not kept up with the regular things, but they've been paying good dividends. They've been paying almost $2 and a share. So that's a nice little safety net for people, that purchase those shares. But the point is that they have not grown, and they might go under, man. You never know. They're gonna break up this company. I mean, they're gonna break up. They're selling off stuff, and
they're already
breaking it off.
Yeah. They're selling off a lot of stuff right now. So it's probably touch and go for them and everything and stuff now as how strong they're gonna be in the near future.
But just think about it though. Think about this though, Ed. It's a lot of companies overseas and over here too. They're not as big as GE, but that right there is something to look at, because either those companies, and they got so many foreign people that's working for them overseas. And if they bring it over here, you're going to have a lot of people that's not going to be able to keep up, or maybe not be qualified to do those types of things that they're doing. So it's a lot of companies, man. If you really look into it, is GE having problems? Or some other companies, international companies that's having problems too. I can guarantee you that. But let me just bring this one thing up, and then you go to your next thing.
Go ahead.
I wanted to, because we was talking about international, and we were talking about what's going on with the different parties. The one thing that I wanted to bring up, man, is that there are almost 65 million refugees in the world. And there are 244 million immigrants in the world. All over, thing. But you know who has the highest amount of immigrants? The United States. We have 46 million immigrants in this country. 46 million. Now you think about that. You think about all of the people that was born here that are brown, colored, what they call people of color, black and brown people that's here. It's how many of them? You got almost 70 million Latinos.
Man.
And you got 50 million blacks, or people that's classified as black. That's 120 million people right there. And then we're talking other nationalities, other people of color and what have you. But what I'm saying is, I can see why these people are panicking, politically and financially, because people want to move up, man. You come to this country, you want to move up. You want to do things. You want to create things. You want more jobs. And a lot of people they're holding a lot of people back, because, the funds are not available. Capital is not available. I talk to a lot of business people all the time. And, if you talk to a minority, they need capital. That's the whole thing. And some of these other companies, man, they go in there, walk in there. I need $100,000. I need $200,000. I need $1 million. Problem.
Well, my opinion and stuff about that, Ted, is that there could be a very diverse reason and stuff why Trump is doing what he's doing, because most of the people and stuff who are coming across the borders and stuff now are coming from poverty-stricken countries and stuff and everything, where they have violence and gang people and stuff who are threatening their lives, and they're trying to get into the United States, and they're not bringing anything with them but themselves. But you look at the other immigrants and stuff and everything who are coming into this country and everything, most of them come into this country and stuff, and they have money. And he has no problem with them coming into this country, because a lot of them are coming in here with lots of money that they can invest and stuff into the country. They can take their money and stuff, buy these fabulous homes and stuff in these nice areas and stuff around the country and everything, because there are some places and stuff here, Ted. And then I've been out into my little area that I live in and stuff, and they have some expensive homes out here. And I guarantee you, if you go to over half of them here in my area and stuff, most of them are immigrants. They come from another, and they come over here and they bring their money and stuff with them. Now, Trump doesn't bother them, but he bothers the other people who come in here and stuff and everything, who don't have anything. All they got is the clothes on their backs and everything. So they say, well, you can't come in out. You can't come in out because you're not giving us anything. But they actually are.
They actually are.
You and I talked about this early and stuff today about how these immigrants were coming into the country, especially from Mexico and all these other Central American, South American countries, coming in, and they're the ones and stuff who are taking care of our farms and stuff, and the food industry and stuff. They're picking the grapes and the apples and the oranges and the cotton crops and all the other stuff going out there, the fruits and the vegetables and stuff out there. They are the ones who are taking care of the melons and the watermelon that we are growing and stuff in these areas. So they come in here, they do their little work and everything, and then a lot of them go back home to Mexico or whatever, because they don't want to be in this country anyway. All they want to do is earn enough money so they can go back and build their own homes and take care of their families and stuff back there. So there is a resource and everything for them once they get here. They got a job that they're looking for and everything or whatever, and a lot of them don't want to stay here. They want to go back to their own country and stuff because it's too expensive to live here. As you know, that's why you have the high homeless population and stuff there in Los Angeles. I mean, they have a homeless population, man, that has exploded and stuff there because they can't afford to live.
Rent too damn high.
The rent too high.
Too damn high.
So these people and stuff, our president and stuff, he's fighting them to come in here, but he's also got these farmers and these business people in this country and stuff and everything who want these people to come in here, pay them low wages and stuff and everything, and then so they can go back home and stuff after the growing season is over with and everything. So it's
that's got to be a horrible, horrible lifestyle. I mean, when you think about it, and I've met a lot of those people, because when I used to work for the bank, they used to come in and they'll ship their money to their country that they came from. They come here to work.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had special procedures that we did to send it to them, which only cost very little money to ship it to them, and they go to the next bank and whatever. And they'll just come in and give them almost their whole paycheck and send it out to their family. and they're here just for that, for the strawberries or for whatever, and then they go back, you know. And a few of them that's born here while they're here, you know, the mother's pregnant and she's running, you know, they try to get them to stay with other relatives and stay here, you know, because they were born here and they're American citizens.
Absolutely. But, you know, this
and
thing and stuff, Ted, is probably a 10-headed monster and stuff that we're going to have to deal with. And nobody wants to open their mouth and deal with it because everybody has their own ideas about immigration and what to do with it. Like you said, there's a bunch of immigrants in this country. This country was built on immigration.
Immigration and slavery.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Mostly slavery.
Absolutely. Now, one other thing, Ted, that we haven't talked about, and I know you brought it up and you were very, very upset about it when I talked to you earlier today about the Supreme Court cases.
Oh, Lord, that makes it help us. We're in trouble. America is in trouble. Now, that's my take. You got a different take. But we are in trouble, man, because we're talking another person might leave after Kennedy leaves. And so we need to, these, I don't want to be calling people names, but these Democrats is going to have to really get themselves together and be just as ignorant as these Republicans. You know, what they did to President Obama is unseemly. The president of the United States didn't even have the right, didn't even give him an opportunity to elect another Supreme Court person, and they blamed it on because of the election. So we're going to see. We got an election in 2018. We're going to see if they're going to do the same thing, or they're going to be just nice and say, oh, yeah, you know, that's a nice person. I checked him out, and we heard him, and he seemed like he's going to obey the Constitution. Well, have they been obeying the Constitution up to now in the last 15 years, 20 years?
Well,
because Kennedy is the one that did the okay to get George Bush in there when he shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah.
Let the truth be told.
Well,
so, you know, man, I'm trying to figure out. Let me just say this. Okay, let me just say this. You know, that's, you know, those Supreme Court people it's amazing how we got what we got as far as our rights, our civil rights, what was due to us for being in this country, how they changed the laws and everything, how they were back 50 years ago or 60 years ago. It is unbelievable, you know. And now I'm looking at 2018 and they're doing all this mess, what they're doing now. It is unbelievable. That's why I say, man, you know, a lot of people are praying, and some people, man, I wonder if their prayers being held up. Because I'm telling you, man, we need to pray and we need to fast because this is serious business. When you start changing policies, you changing laws, you doing all the things you can to hold people back and really take their freedom from them instead of giving them freedom. You know, this is supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the brave. What is going on, man? You know, are they that scared? People that scared, you know? I mean, you know, I believe in law and order, and you should have law and order. But my goodness, when are these what are these people gonna do? They just gonna hold people back, put them in jail every time, you know, that they look at you wrong and stuff?
I revert back, Ted, to my days of playing chess and getting on the chessboard. Chessboard. When you got your rooks and you got your pawns, you got your queen, you got your bishop, you got your king, all of these things are sitting there on this board, and you don't win, you can lose your bishop and you can still win the game. You can lose your rook and still win the game of chess. Okay. Going on and stuff now with the Supreme Court and all the other branches of government is a chess game.
Chess game.
And we, as the American people who are out there, have to understand and stuff the game that they're playing. And the Supreme Court is only one branch of government. And you have to understand that you're going to win some parts of that battle and you're going to lose some parts of that battle. But the purpose of the game is to capture the king. You capture the king, you win. Okay? So we can't let one battle, losing a bishop, think that we lost the game.
Okay.
Lost the game. The game is not over. And we have to understand that, Ted. The game is not over. We lost the bishop. We still got some more pieces out there on the chessboard that we can work with and everything. And that's how we get and win and capture their bishop, their knight, their king, I mean. So they had this case going on there, and they decided, all the justices and stuff decided that they were going to let Trump have his travel ban.
Yeah.
You're going to keep the Muslim out of this country because he did one thing. He put into his case and stuff that he was doing this and stuff to protect the country.
Mm-hmm.
And as a president, he has a right to protect the country, national security. Okay? But if you read their case study and stuff from the justices, the 5 justices who went ahead and said, yes, he can have his travel ban, they also put in some caveat and stuff there and everything to let him know and to let the other people out there know that they didn't, some of those things that people were afraid that he was going to do, they said that they are against it. So if Trump decides to do this and enact a travel ban and stuff without having a military issue or the security of this country and stuff behind his order, and if he can't prove that the security that the security of this country is at stake by letting these people and stuff in there, if he can't prove that, he can't do it.
Yeah, well,
so it has to be, even though they say he won, most of these people out there who aren't legal minded and everything, they're all upset. Hey, you have to look at what they said in their case and stuff. When they said, okay, they told him in that case that he can't do this. But if it's for national security, like you said, yes, the president can do it.
Well, time will tell to see if all this
in the case now. So if he tries to put the travel ban out and he can't prove that it's for national security, then he cannot enact a travel ban. All they have to do is go back to court, bring forth all these judges and stuff who said it was okay, and say he can't do it because of this. He has to do it because it's a national security. If they can prove it was a national security, then those lower court judges are going to stop him again.
And but here's the deal, which security is a good thing. You should, and that's what people that do these types of work, they're supposed to be doing their job to make sure that no one comes in that potentially, would try to harm this country. And that's already been set up. But now you get the average person that comes over here to go to school or whatever the case may be, maybe to go to work or whatever, and they come over here, and now they got a family and everything else, or over here, and they leaving, and their job is they have to go all over the world, all over the country. Now they got to go through, and they say, no, you can't come in.
Okay.
And now he has to get a lawyer to represent him.
most of the time and stuff, Ted, now since this case has went to court and the Supreme Court has made a ruling and stuff and everything and stuff now, when they go to, because of the ruling that the Supreme Court gave, the ACLU and all the other organizations and stuff out there who are dealing with these people and everything, if they tell them they can't come in and they can't say that it's because of national security, all they have to do is go to court and everything and get them to stop them from doing that, and they can do it because the lower court has already, the Supreme Court has already told them that they can't do it unless it's for national security. So if he's trying to enact this travel ban and stuff because he don't want them to come in because they are Muslim, he can't do that. He can only do it in a national security issue. If these people if they are coming in this country and he can't prove, and the Department of Justice cannot prove that this person or these people and stuff who are in there are coming in here and they are a national security risk, he can't stop them from coming in. He can't do it. The Supreme Court's already said that he can't do it that way, but he can for national security.
Okay, all right, we'll see. And I'm gonna be reading. I know it's gonna be a lot of articles written on this.
It is.
And
we'll
it's gonna
see. Be. Gonna try it out. Gonna try it out. But look at Trump's track record. Anytime somebody come out there, he figured he done won, he done did something and everything. He gets just like a little kid with a room full of toys. He done play with that toy.
All he want to do is do a photo op.
Absolutely.
And say he won.
And I won this, and turn around there and do something else, and he can't do it. Just like when he separated these parents and stuff from their children. There was such an outcry for him doing that stuff and everything that he stopped it. He put down there, I'm going to stop him doing that and everything, but he's creating other havoc and stuff out there because now you got 2,000 or 3,000 other children and stuff and everything who were taken away from their parents and stuff until they got it stopped through the courts and everything. So now they're trying to go back, and figure out what they're going to do with these kids and stuff that they already took. And it is a big mess. So he's sitting there with a mess underneath him. It ain't stopping. When you got children crying, Ted, you can't win. You can't win.
Yeah.
You cannot win that. And they still got children who have not seen their mamas and their daddies. It's a mess out there. And then he's got these people coming there before these Senate committees and stuff and everything, and lying to the Senate committee about how many children that they do have in their system. Because like you and I talked, New York got what? 500 kids and stuff now that they done taken to that state and everything now.
Almost
so you've got the mayor of New York fighting them against them. You got the governor of New York and everything all in uproar, and some of these other states and stuff who got these kids and stuff coming in there. We don't know where these
kids are. We don't know where these kids are, and their parents don't either. That's horrible. Yeah. But one thing I wanted to do, we only got a few more minutes here. I wanted to ask the question. And what we would do if we were out there, young Black males today, from, I would say, the ages of 16 to 25. Because to me, those are pretty much the roughest years. You can go down as far as 14 and up to 30. But what I'm saying is right now, and I've been, because I when you're riding around or you're walking or whatever, out there shopping or, going different places to the movies or whatever, you see a lot of young Black males. And it's just me, when we were coming up, we dressed accordingly. If I was playing basketball, I put on my basketball outfit, go play basketball, change my clothes, and put on something kind of halfway decent, a pair of blue jeans or a nice shirt and shorts and t-shirt or whatever. And, I know styles are different. We're up in age. We come from the '60s, and we had our style too, and all of that. But sometimes in your life, you have to realize when in Rome, live like the Romans. You have to. You have to. I mean, your skin is still going to be the same, but we live in a dangerous society now. You cannot do certain things because now they almost have the right to just shoot you down just for being black. It used to be they'll beat you up or whatever, but now some of these young boys are out there and they're trying to live their lives, and a lot of them, so many of them they're not thugs, they're not gangbangers, they're just teenagers, and they want to dress the way they want to dress. And they want to act the way they want to act because they're teenagers and they're not doing anything bad. They might have conflict among themselves or something like that. But majority of them out there just want to have fun and enjoy life. But to me, you got to watch where you go. You gotta certain places you just don't go. When you go someplace, you tell your parents, and then when it's time to leave, and you leave before certain times, and you try to avoid the riffraff because that's how to be accepted by other peers and what have you. But when those peers are doing things that are what we call illegal, then you have to stay away from those types of things because all you need is one little record. Your whole career is gone, bro. I'm serious. I mean, you get a record and that's going to carry you for the rest of your life. If you happen to even be around people that uh, unfortunately would do something that's against the law. So the thing is that when you're 16, 17, 18, you want to have fun, you want to have your own car, you want to date girls, and you want to do this, and you want to get your education, some of you. And the bottom line is you have to watch where you go. You can't go everywhere. You think you can go everywhere, but you can't. We're free, but we're not free. You just cannot go everywhere and do what you want to do every place because some places, let's face it, you're not wanted.
Absolutely.
You're not
Absolutely.
wanted. I'm sorry. There are a lot of black people think that they can go and do everything. And as soon as you make a mistake, or as soon as you get loud, or as soon as this happens, they're going to call the police on you.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
we didn't see the difference, when protest happens.
Absolutely.
They win a championship and they can tear down the city,
Mm-hmm.
burn it up. Nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
But when
Absolutely.
something happened against a protest, that a legitimate protest, that was it was unjust, and they come out aggressively.
It
So
it
I don't.
happened. That's what you are saying, Ted, and I tell my children, I tell my grandchildren, I tell everybody who will listen and who I talk to. Times the day has changed, but the things that happen in these times and stuff have not changed. The
No.
same thing that you and I are talking about and stuff right now. Our parents talked to us about that when you and I were growing up, when we were 15,
Yep.
16, 17 years old. You better be
Yep.
careful out there. Don't back talk to police. Don't act
That's
like
right.
you're supposed to be doing that. It's the same thing that we should be telling our kids and stuff and our grandkids now. You keep your mouth shut. You go out there, you do what you got to do. And there is nothing free. You have to work for what you
Absolutely.
want. You have to.
Absolutely.
But our children and stuff nowadays, they think that they need to be given stuff. You can't give, you can't have a population, a generation of kids and stuff who think that the world owe them something. They, and that the only way that they can, and they'll, you go into our community and stuff now, and the only thing they want to do is glorify a basketball player, or glorify a football player, or whatever and stuff and everything. Yes, they out there and they making a lot of money. They got these big media folks, these rappers and stuff who making a lot of money. Everybody can't make that. Everybody's not going to get into
There's nothing wrong with admiring them, but my goodness, man, come on. You know,
not going to be
if you're not that guy, you need to get yourself an education and get a skill.
absolutely. That's what needs to be put into our children's head. Get you an education. You can't go out there and it's because he's selling drugs and stuff, and you gonna sell drugs. There's all kind of ways, like we talk about, Ted, of making money out there. Just like you and I did. We went out there and had paper routes. We went out there and
Oh
worked them.
man, did everything. Keep
Went out
money in
into
your
the
pocket.
and stuff and everything, and chop corn out of soy.
And no, it wasn't big money. It wasn't big money, but it was enough to
Not
do what
put
we had to do.
food.
You know, I mean, it wasn't no, you know, like some of these people sell drugs, they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. But you know, hey, your life is, you know, you got to watch your back, bro. Every minute you walking down the street.
Absolutely. So those are the things and stuff, Ted, that we have to make sure that our young folks and stuff understand. You have to work for what you want. If you want something, you want a nice home, you want a nice car, work for it. Go to school. Go through that drudgery and stuff of getting them A's and them B's and stuff and everything. Because in the end, once you finish up what you got to doing, what you're doing, what you set out to do, you are going to be rewarded and stuff in some kind of way. But you're not going to be rewarded if you don't go to school. You're not going to be rewarded if you don't get up in the morning and go out there with a mentality and stuff and everything that the world owes me something.
Yeah, you go in there to work, and that means you do what your boss tell you to do. And if they mistreat you, then that's a different story. But other than that, they expect a certain thing. If they tell you got to sweep the floor, you sweep the floor. If they tell you got to box the boxes, you box the boxes.
That's what you went to. You went to that man and said, "I need a job." Okay, you need a job, then you do what he wants you to do to have that job.
That's
and
right.
Realize
and if you're being mistreated, and you know, if you think you're being mistreated and unfair, you look around and you see somebody else sitting around, standing around watching you while you working. You keep doing your job, and then in the evenings when you get off or your days go off, go look for another one, bro. I mean, if somebody's gonna treat you better.
Well, guess what? Them little ones who are sitting back there in the house there, they are sitting there just like little birds and stuff in their nest. They waiting on mama bird and daddy bird to bring some worms back, bring some food back there to the people. And if you ain't out there hustling and getting the worms and making the money and stuff, so your child is not going to be able to survive. They're waiting on you. And that was the biggest enjoyment and stuff while I was out there working, Ted, coming back knowing that my children were being taken care of,
That's right.
that they had on their back, that they
food
were able
on the
to
table.
go. They had food on the table, whatever they wanted to eat, or to take them on vacations and stuff during the summertime. You don't bring me no bad grades here, girls. Y'all better not bring you bring daddy some A's and some B's. You get anything below that and everything, we got a problem. You can't go on vacation for no week and stuff and everything during the summertime. So they strive for something. They had something to strive for all during the year. If we do good, then daddy gonna take us on vacation and stuff for a whole week, and we can do whatever we want to do. We're gonna have fun. And made sure that happened. So I had to go out there and work. And if the man told me I had to sweep the floor, I got to sweep the floor because my got to eat.
Yeah, and you know, unless you're an entrepreneur, now that's a different story. You know, then you're your own boss. You know,
sweep the floor,
and that means you got to do all kinds of things. You got to sweep the floor and count the money.
If Joe Blow don't show up, you got to do his job. You know,
that's right.
Even on the business, you still get a problem.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. You know, you don't really have to work for someone if you can start a business and if you're an entrepreneur. But then, you know, that right there, you know, they say, hey, in 5 years, 80% of those businesses is out of business, you know, because entrepreneurship is hard.
It's hard.
Having your own business is hard.
It's hard,
I mean,
man.
you know, because it's a hustle. It's a hustle.
It's a hustle.
It's a 7. What they say is a 24/7.
24/7 job. You know, I don't care if you sleeping, you still supposed to be out there taking care of your job. You know, if you sitting there, there's no vacation. You got
unless you get it all together, you know, and everything is cooking. You got the right employees and everything like that. But then you probably gonna be nervous anyway when you leave for a week.
Absolutely, because something may happen and can't deal with it, and it can create all kind of problems for you. But anyway, Ted, we getting there to the end, man. We done talked and talked.
Yeah, man, we gotta go. Because we can talk about this for another hour.
We got to go.
All right, bro.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Hey baby, what you trying to do? Spent the night just trying to find you. You the hottest one under the sun, and I'm under your spell. We stuck just like glue. You ain't got the free crib, oh well. You and me can head to the hotel. Whatever we do, just don't tell. I don't need anybody all on my coattail. I feel your energy and I ain't trying to fight it. Your vibe is way too exciting. I know I'm who you wanna ride with. Don't fake it, I know that you like it.
It's more than just emotions. I'm getting more emotions. All you gotta do is focus, not what you used to, but you like it. But you like it. Ooh, yeah. I've been out here looking for you. Just something special, man.
Get up on my roller coaster, get inside my aeroplane. I can take you places, baby, places you ain't been. I bet you